Hello, I'm Masaru. This time, I would like to introduce you to Japanese chashu. Chashu is one of the favorite dishes of Japanese people, not only used in Japanese ramen and fried rice, but also often eaten as a snack with alcohol. Although it takes some time to make, chashu can be stored in the refrigerator for 5 to 7 days and can be used in a variety of dishes. Today I will show you a typical and excellent way to make it, so please watch the video until the end. In this channel, I introduce tips on how to make excellent Japanese home cooking. If you enjoyed this video, please click the high rating button and subscribe to my channel to encourage me to create more videos in the future. I have written the details of ingredients and quantities in the overview section, so please check it out. Let's get started with the cooking. Crush the garlic cloves using the belly of a knife. Tear the green part of the green onion one by one. Slice the ginger. You can leave the skin on. The garlic and ginger are used to aromatize the meat and remove any odor. Most pork belly blocks sold in Japanese supermarkets are about 500 g. If you look closely, you will see that the thickness is not even, so the first step is to even out the thickness. Use a wooden stick or something similar to lightly pound the meat to make the thickness uniform. The thickness is now uniform to some extent. Since the chunks of meat are too large to roll, cut the pork belly block in half. Next, to make it easier to roll the meat, cut slits in the meat. Make cuts about 2 centimeters apart, about 5 millimeters in diameter. Then, lightly prick the meat with a fork to make it easier for the flavor to soak in. Roll up the meat. Starting with the thinnest piece of meat, roll it up tightly without leaving any gaps. If the meat is too short to roll up, fold it in half. Next, use cooking string to tie the meat so that it does not fall apart. Once the end is tied in one knot, tie it again in one knot and tie it tightly. Without cutting the thread, continue wrapping the other end around one end, and continue wrapping it around the meat at 1 centimeter intervals. Tie the other end together with the end of the first thread and tie tightly. Please wrap the thread as tightly as possible so that the meat does not fall apart. Tie it again using the remaining thread you tied the first time. Tie it twice so it doesn't come undone. Cut the excess thread. Similarly, tie the other piece of meat with the thread. Boil the meat. Place the meat in a large pot and add enough water to cover the meat. Add garlic, ginger, and green onions. Bring to a boil over high heat. Remove any lye that comes out. This can be done to a certain extent. Next, lower the heat to low, cover with a drop lid, and boil for 90 minutes. The drop lid prevents the meat from falling apart and allows the broth to spread throughout the meat. In this case, aluminum foil is used as the lid, but any kind of lid will do. 90 minutes have elapsed. Remove the meat to another container. It is easier to scoop up the meat from the bottom, being careful not to let it fall apart. Reserve about 200 milliliters of the meat broth for later use. Heat this small amount of oil in a frying pan. When the pan is heated, add the meat and brown the surface. The meat tends to fall apart easily, so cook with care. There will be a lot of smoke, so please turn on the ventilation fan. Brown the meat until it is well browned all over. It turned out to be a nice brown color. Once the meat is browned, remove it from the pan. Next, marinate the grilled meat in the sauce. Add the water in which the meat was boiled, sugar, soy sauce, and garlic, and bring to a boil over medium heat. When the sauce boils, add the meat to the pot. Reduce the heat to low and let the meat marinate for 2 to 3 minutes. Pour the broth over the meat to infuse the flavors. After 2 to 3 minutes, turn the meat over and marinate the other side in the same way. Turn off the heat and remove the cooked meat to a bowl. After removing the heat, put the dipping sauce in a bowl and refrigerate for about 12 hours. "12 hours have passed. The sauce soaks into the meat well. Cut the cooking string with kitchen scissors and remove it from the meat. You can also cut it into bite-sized pieces as is. This time I'm going to make a Chashu rice bowl, so I'll add a little extra effort. Heat the frying pan without oil. Arrange the cut Chashu pork there and grill it a little. This will make the meat more tender and even more delicious. Remove the meat from the frying pan and heat the sauce in which the chashu is soaked. Place the chashu on hot rice and top with this sauce to make the best chashu bowl. Don't forget the green onion topping. The char has a rich aroma and melts in your mouth. Please enjoy it with piping hot rice. Now, let's eat.